Yo Gotti, he was mad at Young Dolph and Gucci Mane. The reason is because they teamed up together to make the millions, and Yo Gotti wanted to be the biggest artist out of Memphis. He went on the Breakfast Club and tried to say that Yo Gotti and Young Dolph was not a beef. If it's not a beef, then why was people getting hit up? Why Dolph get sent up? Why does it seem like a setup? You gotta understand that Yo Gotti had beef with both Young Dolph and Gucci Mane. He couldn't stand to see them together. He couldn't stand to see the successful black man making millions together. He wanted to be on his own. He don't want nobody else to shine. These are the type of haters that nobody likes. And that's why a lot of people really rocking with Young Dolph, man. If you rocking with Young Dolph, go ahead, hit the comment section. Put the dolphin emoji. Let me know where y'all from, who you rocking with. Hit the PREs down there. And at the end of the day, y'all got to realize that the cookie shop people, everybody that was working with Yo Gotti, everybody that has something to do with this whole entire thing, the feds is going to spin the block and try to actually get all of them. If you really look at it, the feds are doing a sweep right now. In Memphis, they getting ready for the Young Dolph trial. They getting all the evidence, the witnesses together. They getting the footage from the cookie shop. Notice how they already seen the Young Dolph footage. When they got them screenshots and them pictures that they were showing us, how did they know to get the photos of the white car? How did they know to get the photos of the Bentley truck driving by? Who was the person that took the screenshots of the two guys running with the Drakes, and they was running back in the whole gray sweatsuits? The only way you could get those screenshots is if you actually seen the real footage. Somebody seen the real footage. They not speaking out. They gonna wait until the trial because the feds have to get every piece of the puzzle together before they could go out and hit RICOs on all these groups, all these people that was involved, because they already got the interrogation. They already got the statements from Govan. Govan Hernandez said that he agreed. He took the plea deal, that he was the mastermind. He orchestrated and plotted the whole thing. That takes a lot of heat off of Yo Gotti. And you got to remember, Charlemagne the God asked Yo Gotti on the Breakfast Club about Dolph. And Yo Gotti tried to play it off like the connection between the shooting in LA that happened. And TMZ said that Yo Gotti's name was on LAPD's radar about him being connected to the Dolph shooting. And fast forward to the shooting in Memphis in front of the cookie shop. There's a TMZ also has another connection with the Bentley truck leading back to Yo Gotti and Moneybagg Yo. So after time and time, after all the years, multiple incidents, Yo Gotti's name comes up on the list. Then now his employees from CMG directly are actually getting plea deals. They're getting time reduced. They're giving cooperating statements against Yo Gotti himself. This is why you don't see blacyoungsta with Yo Gotti no more. You don't see Moneybagg Yo with Yo Gotti no more. You don't see Big Jook with Yo Gotti no more. Because Big Jook and Yo Gotti are brothers. But when Big Jook got picked up by the feds and he had to go in for 2 days and they investigated and asked him a lot of questions, those are the first statements that he gave, and he already told on his brother. That's how he got out within those 2 days. Within 48 hours, Govan and Big Jook cooperated with the feds to throw CMG under the bus, because this whole entire RICO is Yo Gotti that they want. They coming after Yo Gotti because he's the biggest name when it comes down to the people that actually could have had an issue with Dolph. And he already was on the feds' radar, LAPD radar, from the whole thing happening in California. And they looked at the songs. They're using the lyrics against all the rappers. They looked at Yo Gotti's lyrics and found out that he was dissing Young Dolph right before Young Dolph passed. The meeting at the Privé restaurant the night before. This is why all them MPD units went straight to the Privé shop. Yo Gotti's mama's restaurant the night before. All the CMG members that was actually plotting against Young Dolph met that night, and they didn't eat no food. they had the whiteboard planning out, if Dolph runs here, we're going to come from around this corner. They was really preying on his downfall and his demise. And they wrong for that. And so now when the feds go back and they look at the surveillance from the Privé shop, they going to see how they was over there talking, bicker-backer, and figuring out how they was going to set Dolph up. And this is the thing that's going to get them the most amount of time, because the alibi says that they wasn't even supposed to be at the restaurant that night. The restaurant was closed to the open public. And this is the reason why MPD had to go to the restaurant, because they thought PRE would retaliate. They already seen the pictures on social media online of them at the Privé restaurant with Young Dolph name on the chalkboard. And Lil Migo was there. Lil Migo has the beef with Keyglock. It was multiple people inside the night before planning not just Young Dolph, but his artists. They was really trying to attempt to take down the whole entire PRE. And from the looks at it, it was only one person hating on Young Dolph in the whole city of Memphis. Everybody that actually hated on him other than Yo Gotti was told to hate on him because they had to represent CMG. They still had to get the paycheck from CMG and Yo Gotti, so they gonna make it seem like they on his side. This is what Finesse Two Times was dealing with. That's why he couldn't take it no more. He couldn't sit there and show fake support to Moneybagg Yo and CMG and try to hate on Dolph when Dolph didn't do nothing to him. They didn't have no problems. This is why Finesse Two Times spoke out. He exposed the whole entire CMG. He said exactly what people needed to know about Yo Gotti and Moneybagg Yo on how they actually try to screw over Finesse Two Times. And this is why Finesse Two Times came out saying that Young Dolph was right all along, man. If y'all support Young Dolph, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the comment section, throw that dolphin emoji in there. Because at the end of the day, we gonna get the justice for Young Dolph. The justice for Young Dolph is gonna come. It's right around the corner. And now that the cookie shop took sides with Yo Gotti, CMG broke up, Moneybagg Yo split ways, and blacyoungsta hiding out, he turned to heavy camp. The new album that Yo Gotti is trying to do, is going to really go back to hurt him, because blacyoungsta is going to say to take him off of that because he's no longer a part of CMG. There's a reason why Jay-Z was trying to get certain people off of CMG, because they were attracting the Rico. When blacyoungsta went to Young Dolph gravesite and he dissed him right there in front of his grave, and he made a whole music video with the shovel and everything like that. That went over the line, that crossed the line. But that song was still a part of the CMG umbrella. When they did the partnership with blacyoungsta, Moneybagg Yo, and Yo Gotti, any song Moneybagg Yo does, any song blacyoungsta does, goes back to CMG. So if blacyoungsta dissed Dolph and said incriminating statements in his song, then that could go back to CMG. Like they the ones that told him to do it, and they wrote it for him, and they put the stamp on it, they put their logo on it, Yo Gotti signed off on it. And so this is why the Rico could come back to them. This is why CMG is getting sold. Jay-Z was trying to buy CMG this whole year. He still has bits and pieces to buy off of blacyoungsta's side, because the PRE lawyers came in and they seen everything that was going on. They knew that the Rico was coming for CMG, and this is the reason why they trying to sell off most of the company. They taking any amount, and Jay-Z already told him he's not going to give him the full value for CMG. Because if they sit back and keep arguing back and forth about the purchase price, then the feds is going to hit the Rico sooner than later, because they know that they in the holdup. As long as Yo Gotti's name is still connected to CMG, that he can still get hit with the Rico because of the CMG and PRE beef. They actually beefed with the CMG chains on. They dissed Young Dolph with the CMG chain. And so this is what made it into a Rico, just like how Young Thug dissed the people with the YSL chain on, with the YSL songs. And so the Memphis, the whole city knows exactly what's going on, and they said that they rocking with Young Dolph because he's the true, real king of Memphis. You can't call Yo Gotti the king of anything because that's Dolph. A lot of people seen how Yo Gotti was trying to downplay the situation, trying to say it was no beef. But he forgot about all the times he was bad-mouthing Young Dolph. He forgot about the time when Young Dolph didn't want to have nothing to do with him signing. Yo Gotti tried to say he brought Young Dolph out on his show. Young Dolph was there because he was getting paid anyways. Whenever somebody does a show, the people who open up or perform before him don't mean that the main act, Yo Gotti, is the one that brought them up. No, it's the promoters. The promoters knew who was the best rappers, who was the most popular rappers in Memphis, and they just made sure to bring Young Dolph and Yo Gotti at the same place and at the same time. Yo Gotti got jealous because Young Dolph was getting the real new generation of support from Memphis. He was getting all the young people on. Yo Gotti was getting all the old heads that ended up moving out of Memphis or catching a lot of time or doing all these silly things. They from the Yo Gotti era. And when Young Dolph came in, he was really moving the way he was moving that he said in his songs. And that's what made a lot of people respect him, because he didn't have to actually make anything up. Young Dolph said that Yo Gotti never did none of the stuff that he was talking about in his songs about making plays in the streets and getting his money and everything like that. Remember, Yo Gotti signed a deal and got an advance. That's how he got rich. Somebody is Yo Gotti's boss. Yo Gotti has to answer to somebody. Whatever they say, Yo Gotti has to do it, and he has no choice. That's what he signed up for. But Young Dolph, on the other hand, he's his own boss. And this is what made Yo Gotti really jealous, because he didn't have to do the same. Young Dolph didn't have to sell out like how Yo Gotti did. And this is the main difference. This is why a lot of people claim that Young Dolph was the king of Memphis, because he did it on his own. A king don't get an advance. A king builds his own business and does it on his own. And he didn't need no help from Yo Gotti. And he told that to his face. And Yo Gotti got mad, jealous, envious, greedy, everything, all of the above. And that's what made him feel the type of way that he felt, to try to set him up and send people his way. Y'all need to subscribe to the channel for the most breaking news updates coming out. And like this video.